The wind was cold. The sky was gray. Clouds hung heavy over the small graveyard like they were mourning too. Mr. Jameson stood still, his black coat long and neat, his hands tightly folded in front of him. His eyes didn't move. They were fixed. On the simple grave in front of him, only 5 people were at the funeral. No music, no flowers, no speeches. Just silence. Mr. Jameson had paid for it all, but he asked for no attention. The name on the stone was Anna Grace. No one knew much about her. The world had forgotten her, but not Jameson. He stared at the name on the headstone as if trying to remember every detail of her face. A few feet behind him, 2 men whispered quietly. They were his bodyguards, always present, always alert. But today, Mr. Jameson didn't want protection. He wanted peace. After the priest said the final words and the small crowd began to leave, Mr. Jameson remained. He stood still, like a statue, while the others disappeared behind the trees. Then something caught his eye. Across the narrow road, just outside the graveyard gates, a girl stood barefoot in the cold. She looked no older than 12. Her clothes were dirty, torn at the edges. Her hair was messy and tangled. She didn't move. She just stood there, staring straight at him. Mr. Jameson blinked, confused. Where had she come from? He turned to one of the bodyguards. "Do you see her?" The guard nodded. "Yes, sir. Homeless girl, I think. She's been there a while." Jameson frowned. "Why didn't you tell me?" "She wasn't doing anything, just watching." Jameson gave a small nod and walked slowly toward the gate. The girl didn't run. She didn't step back. She just kept staring. As he reached her, he saw her up close. She was thin, cold, and shaking slightly. But there was something strange in her eyes, something deep, not fear, not sadness, something else. He took out his wallet and pulled out a few bills. "Here," he said gently, holding out the money. "Get yourself some food and shoes." Looked at the money but didn't take it right away. She kept her eyes on his face. Her lips trembled. Then, slowly, she reached out and took the money. For a second, it seemed over. Mr. Jameson turned to walk back, but then the girl spoke. Her voice was soft, so soft he almost didn't hear her. "You forgot me. Daddy, it's me." He froze. For a moment, time stopped. The wind, the cold, the sounds of the city, all faded. He turned around slowly. What did you say?" The girl looked down. Her hands gripped the money tight. "You forgot me," she repeated, then looked up into his eyes again. "Daddy, it's me." His face turned white. He stared at her like he had seen a ghost. His lips moved, but no words came out. He looked at her eyes again, then her face, her hair. Something was familiar, something was wrong. His chest tightened. He took one step back. He began, but his voice cracked. Who told you to say that?" The girl shook her head. "No one. My mom told me. You were my father. She said you'd come one day. So I came." Jameson's knees felt weak. He stared at her again. His heart was pounding. Could it be true? Could Anna? "Your mother was Anna?" he whispered. The girl nodded slowly. Her eyes were wet now. Jameson turned his face away, hiding the storm in his eyes. He took a deep breath and walked back into the graveyard. Fast. The guards followed, confused. Behind him, the girl stood still, watching. Mr. Jameson stopped near the grave. He looked at the name one more time. Anna Grace. His past. His secret. His pain. He looked up at the sky but found no answers there. Just more silence. Back near the gate, the little girl was still standing barefoot in the cold, watching her father walk away again. Mr. Jameson sat alone in the back seat of his black car. The graveyard grew smaller behind him as the car drove away. But his mind stayed there. The girl's words echoed again and again in his head. "You forgot me. Daddy, it's me." He rested his hand on his chest. His heart was beating fast. Was it possible? Could that girl really be his daughter? The bodyguard in the front seat looked back. "Sir, are you okay?" Jameson didn't answer. He just stared out of the window, lost in thought. That night he sat in his large, empty mansion. The house was quiet, filled with expensive things but no warmth. He poured himself a glass of water but didn't drink it. He walked to his study and opened a locked drawer. Inside was an old photo. It showed a younger version of himself, with a woman. Her name was Anna. She had soft eyes and a gentle smile. She once meant everything to him. They were in love when he was still poor, still unknown, still struggling. But that was long ago. He whispered to the photo, "Anna, did you have a child? My child?" He closed his eyes and remembered. Flashback. 15 years ago, Jameson and Anna lived in a small apartment. Life was hard. He worked at a factory, she worked at a diner, but they were happy. They dreamed of a better future. Then one day, everything changed. Jameson got a job offer far away, something big. It was his chance to grow, to build something. But Anna didn't want to leave the city. She said she couldn't. They argued for days. He finally left, angry, confused, and heartbroken. He promised to come back for her. But time passed. He got busy. He became successful, then rich, then powerful. But he never reached out to her. Again, he buried those memories deep inside. Now, years later, a girl had appeared with Anna's eyes, Anna's voice, and called him Daddy. Jameson stood up and began pacing the room. "I have to know," he whispered. "I have to know the truth." The next morning he returned to the graveyard. But the girl was gone. He asked the groundskeeper, "Did you see a homeless girl here yesterday?" The man nodded. "Yes, sir. She comes sometimes. Sits near that tree. Doesn't talk much. Just watches the graves." "Do you know where she stays?" The man shrugged. "Somewhere in the alleys nearby. She disappears before dark." Jameson got back in his car and told his driver, "Take me to the streets nearby. I want to look around." Searching for the truth for hours, Jameson drove through cold, narrow streets. He looked down every alley. He asked shopkeepers and street vendors. Most people shook their heads. A few said, "Yes, I've seen her. Quiet girl, doesn't beg, just walks alone." Finally, near an old bakery, he spotted her. She was sitting behind a trash bin, hugging her knees, shivering. He got out of the car and slowly walked toward her. She looked up, startled. "It's okay," he said gently. "I won't hurt you." The girl stared at him, silent. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lily," she whispered. He took a breath. "Lily. Was Anna your mother?" She nodded. Her eyes looked sad. "She died last week. No one came. I was alone." Jameson's chest ached. He sat down on the cold ground beside her, not caring about his expensive coat. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" he asked. She looked away. "Mom said you didn't want us. She said you left." Jameson lowered his head. "I didn't know. I didn't know she was pregnant." Silence sat between them. Then he asked, "Do you have anywhere to go?" Lily shook her head. "No." He looked at her small, dirty hands, her bruised feet. "I want to help you," he said softly. "But first, I need to know the truth." Pulled out his phone. "Will you come with me just for today?" Lily looked unsure. But then she slowly nodded. The first step, Jameson took her to a small hotel and paid for a clean room. He ordered food, clothes, and warm blankets for her. Lily was quiet, but she ate fast, like someone who hadn't had a proper meal in days. Jameson sat across from her, watching. In his heart a strange feeling grew, fear, guilt, and something else. Was this really his daughter? He needed answers. He needed proof. And he knew what he had to do next. The next morning, Jameson woke early. He hadn't slept much. His mind kept racing through memories of Anna, of their past, of Lily's eyes. She was still asleep in the hotel, bed curled up like a small bird. Her face looked calm now, not like the scared girl from the alley. Jameson stood by the window, staring at the rising sun. He had everything, money, power, fame, but for the first time in years he felt unsure. Was this child really his daughter? He had to know. Not just for himself, but for her. He picked up his phone and called his private doctor. I need a DNA test. Quiet, no reports, no press, just answers. The doctor agreed to come that morning. When Lily woke up, Lily opened her eyes slowly. She looked around the clean room, the soft bed, the plate of fresh fruits on the table. For a second, she looked confused, like she thought it was a dream. Then she saw Jameson sitting on the couch across the room. Good morning, he said softly. She sat up slowly. Is this your house? No, just a place to rest for now, he said. How do you feel? Warm, she whispered. Thank you. He gave a small smile. Lily, do you mind if we talk? She nodded. He came closer and sat on the edge of the bed. I need to ask you something important. It won't hurt, I promise. Her eyes widened. What is it? I want to take a small test, a medical test, to see if you're really my daughter. She looked down. You don't believe me. It's not that, he said gently. It's just, I need to be sure. For both of us. Lily was quiet for a moment, then she nodded. Okay. Just then the doctor arrived. The DNA test begins. The doctor was kind. He spoke gently to Lily and explained everything. He took a small swab from her cheek, then one from Jameson. No needles? Lily asked nervously. No needles, the doctor smiled. After collecting the samples, the doctor packed his things. Results will come tomorrow. I'll bring them to you myself. Jameson walked him out. Thank you, and please keep this private. The doctor nodded. A day of waiting. Jameson took Lily out that afternoon. They went to a small bookstore. She stared at the books like they were treasures. He bought her 2 storybooks and a warm coat. Then they sat at a quiet cafe. Jameson watched her as she ate chocolate cake and smiled for the first time. You like books? He asked. Lily nodded. Mom used to read to me every night. What kind of books? Fairy tales, but she always said real life was harder. Jameson's heart ached. She was right, but sometimes it gives you surprises too. Lily looked up. Like meeting you? He smiled faintly. Maybe. That night back at the hotel, Lily read one of her new books while Jameson sat nearby. He didn't speak much. His thoughts were heavy. What if the test said she wasn't his daughter? What if it said she was? Would he be able to be a father? Now, the next morning. The result at a.m. sharp, the doctor returned. He carried a sealed envelope. Jameson took a deep breath. His hands shook slightly as he opened it. He read the paper once, then again. His face changed, eyes wide, lips parting, in shock. The doctor nodded slowly. It's a match, 99.9%. She's your biological daughter. Jameson sat down, speechless. Lily looked up. What does it say? Jameson turned to her. His eyes were glassy. You're my daughter, he whispered. It's true. Lily didn't move. She stared at him, not believing it. Does that mean I can stay? She asked. Jameson walked over and knelt beside her. It means I should have found you long ago. But now that I have you, I won't let go. He pulled her into a hug. For the first time, Lily cried. Not from pain, not from hunger, but from relief. But outside, someone watches as the two hugged. In the quiet hotel room outside on the street, a dark figure stood across the road. Watching, he held an old photo of Anna in one hand and a phone in the other. He dialed a number. She's with Jameson, he said coldly. The child. He doesn't know everything yet. There was silence on the line, then a voice replied, Keep watching. We may need to act soon. For the next few days, everything felt different. Mr. Jameson wasn't just a billionaire anymore. He was a father. He bought Lily clothes, toys, books, and even took her to a doctor for a checkup. She smiled more now, but she still had moments of silence, as if a storm still lived inside her. Every night she asked him the same question before. Are you sure you want me here? And every time he held her hand and answered, Yes, Lily, I'm not leaving again. But deep inside, something still felt wrong. He didn't know what it was until a message arrived. A warning in the mail. Jameson's assistant handed him an envelope. "Sir, this came with no return address." He opened it slowly. Inside was an old photo, Anna holding a baby. On the back, someone had written, "You don't deserve her. You abandoned them once. Don't pretend to be a hero now." There was no name, no signature. Jameson's hands trembled. Someone knew about Lily. Someone was watching. But who? A shadow from the past. That night, Jameson sat alone in his office. He pulled out a file, everything he had on Anna. Doctors, addresses, old letters. Most were years old. He noticed something strange. One letter from Anna had been sent just a year ago, but he never received it. He called his lawyer. "Did I ever get a letter from Anna last year?" The lawyer checked his records. "No, sir. Nothing was delivered." Jameson narrowed his eyes. "Find out who blocked it." The lawyer hesitated. "There is something else." "What?" "There was a man listed as next of kin on Anna's death certificate. A Mr. Carl Mendez." Jameson froze. That name felt familiar. He searched the name on his laptop. Carl Mendez, Anna's ex-boyfriend before Jameson met her. He had a criminal record. Theft, violence. Disappeared years ago. Was he back and worse? Did he know about Lily? Danger draws closer. The next morning, Jameson took extra security measures. 2 guards outside the hotel, a car always nearby. Lily noticed. "Why are there men with guns outside?" she asked. Jameson tried to smile. "Just being careful." "Are we in danger?" she asked, her voice soft. "No," he said. "Not if I can help it." But in his heart, the fear was growing. He had just found his daughter. He couldn't lose her now. A silent intruder. That night, while Lily slept peacefully, a hotel cleaner walked down the hallway. He pushed a cart quietly, but he wasn't a cleaner. He stopped outside Lily's room, looked around, and slipped something under the door. A tiny note. Then he walked away like nothing happened. In the morning, Lily found the paper. It read, "Your daddy isn't telling you everything. He left your mom. He knew. He walked away." She stared at it, confused, hurt. Was it true? When Jameson came in, she didn't look at him. He noticed her cold eyes. "What's wrong, Lily?" She held up the note. "Did you leave my mom on purpose?" Jameson's heart sank. "Where did you get this?" "Just answer." He sat beside her, breathing deeply. "I didn't know she was pregnant, Lily. I was young. I made mistakes, but I never stopped caring about her. I just never got the chance to fix it." Lily looked down. She didn't speak. The hurt was deep. Jameson placed his hand on her shoulder. "I'm trying now. I'm here now." The man. In the photo returns far away in a dark room. Carl Mendez stared at a wall covered in pictures. Photos of Anna. Photos of Lily. And now, photos of Jameson with Lily. He spoke to himself, bitter and cold. "She was mine before she was his. He took everything. Now I'll take her back." He picked up a phone and dialed. "I'm ready. Tomorrow night." We grabbed the girl. It was just past 8 p.m. Rain poured outside the hotel windows, and thunder echoed through the sky. Inside, Lily sat on the floor, drawing with her new colored pencils. Jameson watched her with a soft smile. But behind his smile, his heart was heavy. Someone was trying to break the bond he had just begun with Lily. Someone wanted to hurt them. And Jameson had a terrible feeling. Something bad was about to happen. The power goes out suddenly. The lights flickered. Then total darkness. Lily looked up, scared. "Daddy." "It's okay," Jameson said quickly, getting up. "Just a power cut." He walked to the window, looking outside. The whole block was dark. He reached for his phone, but there was no signal. "No internet, no calls," he muttered. "This isn't normal." Just then, he heard a soft knock at the door. "Room service," a voice said. Jameson frowned. "We didn't order anything." Lily backed away from the door, feeling afraid. Jameson stepped closer. "Who is it?" "No." Reply. He looked through the peephole. No one there. When he opened the door slowly, there was no food, only a note. "We warned you. Now she's ours." Jameson's blood ran cold. He turned around, just in time to see the window curtain moving. "Lily?" he shouted. She was gone. Taken in the dark down the fire escape, a hooded man ran through the rain carrying Lily in his arms. She kicked and screamed, but he held her tightly. "Shut up," he hissed. "Your daddy doesn't love you. He left your mother to die." "No, that's not true," she cried. The man didn't answer. He threw her into the back of a black van and drove off. Inside the van, Lily sobbed. "Why are you doing this?" The man turned to her. His face was thin, cruel, with cold eyes. "I'm your real father," he said. Lily's eyes widened. "No, you're lying. You'll see soon enough," he growled. Jameson's desperate. Search Jameson called security. "Lock down the building. Someone's taken my daughter." Guards ran in every direction, but the kidnapper was already gone. Jameson dropped to his knees, staring at the empty room. Her drawings were still on the floor, her coat still on the chair. His hands shook. "I lost her once. I won't lose her again." He made another call. "To who?" the guard asked. Jameson's voice turned cold. "An old friend, a private investigator, the best. A mother's secret letter." While the guards searched, Jameson opened Anna's old box. He searched through her letters, hoping for something, anything. One letter was different, hidden inside the back cover of a book. It was written to Lily, never sent. "My sweet Lily, if you're ever reading this, I hope you're safe. Your real father may never find you, but if he does, be careful. Carl is dangerous. He wasn't always bad, but he changed. I had to hide you from him. He said he'd come back and take you away if he ever finds you. Run." Jameson held the letter, eyes wide with horror. So Carl did know. He wasn't just some old boyfriend. He was obsessed. And now, he had Lily. In the van, a message of hope. As the van moved through the rainy streets, Lily held something tightly in her hand, her mother's necklace. She closed her eyes and whispered, "Please help me, Mommy. I don't want to go with him." Just then, the van stopped. Carl opened the door. "We're here." He pulled her into an old broken-down house on the edge of town. "You'll stay here now," he said. "You don't need that rich liar." Lily looked at him bravely. "He's not a liar. He's my dad. And he's coming." Carl laughed coldly. "He won't find us. No one will." But outside, a black car had stopped 2 blocks away. Inside it sat Jameson and his investigator. "We tracked the van," the man said. "They're close." Jameson stared out into the night, fists clenched. "Hold on, Lily," he whispered. "I'm coming." The rain hadn't stopped. Thunder rolled in the distance as Jameson stepped out of the black car. His eyes were locked on the dark, broken house just ahead. That was where Carl had taken Lily. The private investigator, Mr. Harris, handed Jameson a small earpiece. "We need to be smart. Carl's dangerous, and if we rush in, he might hurt her." Jameson's jaw tightened. "I'll do whatever it takes. Just get my daughter back." Inside the house. Lily plans. Lily sat in the cold corner of a dusty room. Her hands were tied and her eyes swollen from crying. Carl had locked the doors. He paced outside her room, muttering to himself, "She was mine first. Jameson doesn't deserve her. He had everything, and he threw it away." Lily listened quietly. Then she looked down at the small necklace around her neck, the one her mother gave her. She remembered something. Inside the locket was a tiny tool. Her mom used to fix watches. It was sharp. With her hands behind her back, Lily carefully began to cut the rope. It was slow, but it was working. "Back outside, the plan begins, mister." Harris pulled up a small tablet. "There are 2 ways in, the front door and the basement window." "I'll take the front," Jameson said. "I'll distract him. You go through the basement." "Are you sure?" Harris asked. "He might." "Try to kill you." Jameson's voice was firm. Let him try. A father's brave step. Jameson walked toward the house, every step heavy. The rain soaked his coat, but he didn't care. He banged on the front door, loud. "Carl, open the door. You and I need to talk." Inside, Carl jumped to his feet. He pulled out a small gun from the table drawer and ran to the door. "You've got guts showing up here, Jameson." Jameson raised his hands. "I didn't come to fight. Just let Lily go. She's mine now." Carl shouted. "Anna should have told me. I would have raised her better than you ever could." "Carl," Jameson said calmly, "Anna hid Lily because she was afraid of you. You were violent. You hurt her." Carl's eyes burned with rage. "Shut up. You left her. You abandoned them." Just then, a crash from inside the house. Lily escapes. While Carl argued at the door, Lily had cut through the rope. She was free. She quietly opened the window and slipped out into the hallway. She tiptoed to the back door, but it was locked. Then she saw movement in the basement stairwell. A man in black gave her a signal. "Harris." She ran down quietly into his arms. "Are you Lily?" he asked softly. She nodded. "Yes, please get me out of here." "Your dad is waiting," he said. Carl's last mistake still shouting. Carl pointed the gun at Jameson. "You think you're some kind of hero now?" "No," Jameson replied. "I'm just a father who's not running this time." Carl raised the gun. Click, a red dot appeared on Carl's chest. He looked down, confused. Snipers. Police had surrounded the house. A voice yelled, "Drop the weapon, now!" Carl froze. His hand shook. He dropped the gun and fell to his knees. "She was mine." Jameson ran past him straight into the house. Father and daughter reunited in the backyard. Under the rain, Lily saw him. "Daddy!" Jameson ran too, her dropping to his knees. He hugged her tight. "I'm so sorry, Lily. I should have protected you," she cried into his chest. "You came for me. I knew you would." They held each other for a long time. Mr. Harris smiled quietly in the background. "Let's get you both somewhere safe." Later that night, back at the hotel, Lily lay in bed, warm and safe. Jameson sat beside her, brushing her hair back. "I ask you something," she whispered. "Anything. Do you still wish I hadn't shown up at the funeral?" Jameson looked into her eyes. "That day, I thought I was burying the past, but you brought me back to life." Lily smiled. "I'm glad I found you." Jameson kissed her forehead. "I'm glad you found me too." The storm had passed. Sunlight warmed the streets as morning broke through the clouds. Inside the hotel room, Lily slept peacefully, her face calm for the first time in days. Jameson sat quietly by the window, watching the city come back to life. In his hands, he held a sealed envelope, Anna's last will. The lawyer had delivered it just an hour ago. His fingers trembled as he opened it. Anna's final letter. Inside the envelope was a letter. Not typed. Handwritten. Neat but a little shaky. "Dear Jameson, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone. I never hated you. I only feared the past would repeat itself. I hid Lily not to punish you, but to protect her. You were young when we met. Lost. But I always believed deep down you had a good heart. That's why I left her something special. Take care of her. Love her. And remember, she's the best parts of both of us." Jameson closed his eyes. Tears ran down his cheeks. "Anna, I failed you once. I won't fail her." The reading of the will later that afternoon. Jameson and Lily sat together in a quiet office. The lawyer opened the official will document. "According to Miss Anna's wishes," he said, "Mr. Jameson has been named Lily's legal guardian and sole protector." Lily looked up, surprised. She really wanted you to raise me?" The lawyer smiled. "She trusted only you." Jameson gently held her hand. "We're together now. Nothing will ever change that." But the lawyer wasn't finished. "There's one more thing," he said. "She left behind an inheritance for Lily." Jameson raised an eyebrow. "Anna didn't have much." "She didn't," the lawyer replied, "but she saved every dollar she could. And there's a property." a cottage in the countryside. She wanted Lily to have it. Lily gasped. A house? For us? Jameson smiled. For us. Returning to the grave a week later, Jameson and Lily visited Anna's grave. Lily carried a small bouquet of white flowers. She placed them gently on the stone. I'm safe now, Mommy, she whispered. Daddy found me. Jameson stood beside her, placing his hand on her shoulder. She's proud of you, he said softly. They stood in silence for a long time. Then Lily looked up. Can we go see the cottage? Jameson nodded. We'll build a new life there, a new beginning. The cottage sat on a hill surrounded by tall trees and a small lake nearby. It wasn't big, but it was peaceful. Inside, the furniture was old, but clean. A photo of Anna and baby Lily sat on the shelf. Jameson and Lily spent their days fixing the place together. They painted walls, planted flowers, and cooked simple meals. Lily laughed more now. She went to school in the nearby village. Every evening, they sat on the porch watching the sunset. 6 words that changed everything. One night, as the stars twinkled above them, Lily turned to Jameson. He looked at her with love in his eyes, and then softly she said the 6 words that had frozen him. The day of the funeral, only now they felt completely different. You forgot me. Daddy, it's me. Jameson pulled her into a warm hug. No, he said with tears in his eyes. I'll never forget you again. Final message to the audience. As the screen fades, to black soft music plays. Sometimes life gives second chances, not to erase the past, but to build a better future. And sometimes the family we lose helps us find the one we truly need. Text on screen. Thank you for watching. Subscribe button animation fades in with soft emotional music.